And Reggie, man, I hold you in high regards here, sir, because me and Will Steele, all we ever wanted to do was be radio guys. I know we do YouTube, and YouTube is cool, and that's our form of what we do. But man, you and KG, y'all just extended this branch to us, and not only had us in as guests, but we got to touch microphones in real life. So we just want to just appreciate you for that, sir. But 105.3 The Fan, to get right, Reggie, what's happening with you, man?
Man, I can't call it. Is that what I'm supposed to say in this instance? Man, I'm good. I'm blessed, bro. And honestly, I keep telling you every time, you doing me the favor when you come through. So we always appreciate you, my man.
Hey, man, let's get into some work, man. And we talk about what's about to happen here. All right, I got one Cowboy question, dog. Just one Cowboy question, then we can move on to this real stuff here. Do you think the Cowboys are taking this offseason seriously? You know what I mean? We just got out of the draft, and I've done a ton of draft work, and I'm kind of pissed off because I watched a lot of running backs that's not about to play for my team. And I watched a gang of receivers that's not about to play for my team. And we still got holes on this roster, and there's not a lot of kids on the street that can come in and help us. So, like, are the Cowboys taking this serious? And, like, what do you think on this whole offseason so far?
They are taking it seriously. The problem is, like, you have to define the framework here. If you think they're taking it seriously for this year, I don't know what to tell you. Like, but they are taking this seriously. It's just become abundantly apparent that they are trying to get their books right so that they can continue this on forward. Like, this is a future situation. In fact, what was that pre-draft presser that you had all the big heads on, and they started talking about things, and they got here copping pleas behind the idea of, salary and all these things. And like, really, this would go over a lot better if one person did not do one thing. And I think you know what I'm about to say. If Jerry Jones did not get out here and frame this all as being an all-in season, I think people would be able to appreciate the framework that actually is happening, which is this is a retool year. Like they are trying to retool. They're trying to handle some business on all of this money that they've been holding on to. And I mean, look, it's their fault, right? Like if we want to start placing blame, it is their fault. It is their fault for constantly playing dudes off of injuries, anticipating what they were going to look like coming back. It's their fault for giving people contracts ahead of time and not giving certain people contracts ahead of time, and then having to give them bigger contracts after, right? Like all of this messed up their books in a certain way, and they still somehow didn't, use all their money every year. But that's a whole nother story. But you know what I mean? Like all of those things, all of those practices got them to a place where they have to account for them. And it feels like this is the year that they're accounting for them, trying to get more youth back on the offensive line, all those things. They're going ahead and trying to make that happen this year. And that's the way that I'm approaching it. So they are taking it seriously in that regard. Because if you look at the draft, like there's a lot of future, right? Like I know that there was people complaining about Tyler Guyton because, hey, he might not be ready to like be a full-fledged starting left tackle in the way that you want to be on a winning team this year. Yeah, but they look at the traits. Like they're looking at the ceiling is high. And so next year, the year after that, now you have a dude who has the potential of being another Tyron Smith, right? And so all of this is like very forward facing, very forward looking. They're not trying to put money into this year. They're trying to look down the road. Will they be successful in that? Buddy, I've gotten out of the business of predicting what the Cowboys going to do, but that's the way that I look at it. And they are taking it seriously in that regard. Now, the place where they're not taking it seriously is talking to us on the outside, and not like they are not treating us with a level of respect. They're talking down to us. They're talking crazy to us. And that's the part that really upsets me personally.
Yeah, man, that's the one thing that, Jerry kind of bothers me with. He'll just hit you with some old man, phrase that he got from long. And look, I'm from Mississippi, so I understand everything what he's saying when he says it. So he'll say, hey, y'all, my bread is baked. I ain't got many more swings at bat here, so we need to move with some urgency. He'll say something like that. And what really stood out to me, though, and this happened in order, I can't make this up. He was like, hey, man, listen, we know what's going on. We hear people talking. We know what the business is. Y'all, we know y'all. We hear y'all. Yeah. And then Jane came out to be a hero, right? And he was like, don't be talking to me about what people talking about what people talking about. I didn't hear none of that. I haven't heard nobody say that we not spending money. You know what I'm saying? Who says we not working on it? And I just think that they really think that we goofy and we silly and that we don't have a good grasp on critical thinking in this cap situation.
Yeah, man. Like that was the thing that amazed me about that particular presser is they can, and look, whatever you want to say about Jerry, I think one of the things that we have always agreed upon, like the larger we, the royal we,
Yeah.
Like he typically handles the way that he divulges information pretty well. He's always been a good salesman, right? In that regard. I thought they handled that entirely wrong, right? Because like in addition to, you know, just being completely patronizing in the way they talk to us, he got out here and tried to explain the salary cap to us.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey man, and like he tried to explain it with scholarships, which was I honestly personally think that he did that because someone explained the salary cap to him in that way, because you know he's a college guy, he loves him some college. They tried to explain him, and so he was like, this is the way I know how to explain it. Apparently y'all not getting it. And we were all sitting here like, no, we got a handle on it. We were wondering if you did. And I think that was the thing that fascinated me, was that, yeah, the approach was off, which is something that I don't think I could say about the Cowboys, not necessarily about their MO, but the way that they talked to us typically had been one where they were handling like the marketing and the delivery of this usually pretty well. That you can't say this offseason. And that was the thing that really amazed me in their get down.
Man, but look, this is my issue though. Like, don't talk to Cowboy Nation like they're Cowboy Nation from 3 years ago. We're in a higher place. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you go on our social medias, you know, we got many guys. Shouts out to Matt Owen, right? He is a real finance, like he does this in life.
Yeah.
he pushes books in real life and he going, nah, that's a lie. that's bullshit. Like you know, it's kind of like, you know, you can propagandize things, but when the internet comes out, okay, we got information now, right?
Right.
I think the Cowboys still believe that the internet don't exist. You know what I mean? And it's like everything that they say to us, bro, that's a lie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like the whole, man, look, Tristan Hill was the best player on our boys. You can't tell me no different. I watch film too. I got eyes, you know what I'm saying? And it just ends up being just another old man quote, right? Hey, you know, you can't put an open bag of sugar on a motorcycle and drive with it. You know what I'm saying? Like say some shit like that. And we just supposed to go, all right, just we'll move
you
on.
really can't put an open bag of sugar on a motorcycle. You're not lying in that regard.
That's a real quote. That's a real quote. Some old folks from Mississippi, you know, the quote used to be an ashtray on a motorcycle because they used to have ashtrays on motorcycles.
Yeah,
and like you can't have ashtray on but just whatever. But one,
I love that quaint folksy shit, man. That gets me right here.
But one bar he did have was, you know, he was talking about the you know, drafting O-line, tripling down on it. He was like, hey man, why y'all getting so many offensive linemen? He said, same reason why you rob banks. That's where the money at.
Bars.
Oh, speaking of which though, man,